Who here has a 2.0 at least? Raise your hand. 2.0, okay, I got some 2.0s. 3.0, who here has 3.0s? 4.0s. All right, that's usually the least for some reason with creatives. But to make y'all feel better, I had a 1.98 GPA. And so I had to be creative if I wanted to get into college. And I remember applying at SDSU, graduated college, 1.98 GPA. And I remember sitting down with my counselor, and I was like, I really want to get into SDSU, and my GPA is not high enough. You think I'll get in? And she told me, you might as well not apply. You need at least a 2.0. And I was like, man, you know, why are we limited by our GPA? I feel that there's so much more to us than just a number. And so I said, I'm going to apply anyway. And sure enough, I worked really hard. I applied, and I go to the mailbox, and I look at that letter, and it says, Dear Chris Soriano, we regret to inform you that you have not been accepted to the fall semester. And I took that letter, and I said, damn, I didn't get in. But then I said, I believe every rule has an exception. I believe finding a way when there is no way. So I said, I took that letter, I went back to my counselor. I said, do you think I could still get in if I somehow spoke to the president or did something? She said, nah, you're wasting your time, Chris. You should apply to Chico State. I said, all right. I mean, I guess you're very straight up. Thank you, counselor. I appreciate it. And so I didn't apply to Chico State. I said, I want to get into SDSU no matter what. And I said, there's got to be a way. This is where my creative juices started flowing. And I said, maybe I can write an email to the president of the university. So what did I do? I went on the SDSU website, saw Dr. President Weber. His email was right there. I said, all right, I'm going to email this guy. Took that email. I was on my BlackBerry at the time. So y'all had one too. And I said, how am I going to convince this president? I got his email. How can I convince him that I should be in SDSU? I already got denied. I don't think anyone in history has been able to reverse this denial. But I said, there's got to be a way. And so I got creative with it. I said, Dear President Weber, I believe that letters of hope can make a big difference. It's how Martin Luther King got out of Birmingham jail. I believe that if the front door is locked and the back door is jammed, the window should be the next option. He probably thought it was a house robber at that point. I sent that letter, and 72 hours later, I get a response from the SDSU Admissions Appeal Committee. I didn't even know that existed. I said, what is this? Okay, check my inbox. Chris, your letter has been reviewed by our Admissions Appeal Committee, and if it is unanimous, we will let you in. I said, unanimous? I had to Google what unanimous meant. And then when I saw it, it said, everyone has to agree, unanimous. And then I said, how many people are on that board? So I Googled it. 8 people. 8 people got to say yes for my butt to get into SDSU. I said, it's probably not going to happen. So I waited. A month went by. I said, how long does it take for them to vote? Bureaucracy, right? Another week went by. A couple of weeks went by. And finally, I go to the mailbox, and I see a letter from SDSU. I said, oh, hell, here it is. They had to give me a real letter, not no email. I go to the mailbox, I pull it out, open up that letter. It says, Dear Christopher, congratulations and welcome to the fall semester at SDSU. And so I graduated college, created a nonprofit, and I said, I'm here to make a difference. I don't know what, but I want to bring communities together. I want to bring the military together. I want to form a conference to unite all their ideas. I love TED Talks. I'm going to make one for the military, and I'm going to call it Clever Talks. Sure enough, all these veterans are approaching me. Yo, man, I want to make a business. I'm like, oh, man, okay. How am I going to advise you how to make a business? Multiple people, I want to make a business. I want to make a business. I was like, all right, I don't want to look like Ty Lopez right now and make a video here and tell you how to do it. But I said, who can really help these veterans to create a business? And I was watching Shark Tank, and I saw there, Mark Cuban. All right, that's the guy. And then I said, I remember with my team who's right here in the front, I said, yo, I'm going to connect with Mark Cuban. And they were like, how on earth are you going to do that? I said, I'm going to find his email, just like I did. Like, how are you going to find his email? Jumped on Google. And on Google, I searched. I put Mark Cuban email. Didn't find it. And then I was like, this is a lot harder than I thought. And so I went on articles. Then I found unique threads. I found forums. I nerded out on this. I was like, I'm going to find this guy's email. And then finally, on the 7th page of the searches, there was one article that stated in a forum message that this could be his email. So I said, maybe I got a fair shot. I copied that email, went back. This time I had an iPhone, not a BlackBerry. And then I said in the subject line, Mark Cuban to inspire thousands of veterans in San Diego. And then in the first line, Dear Cuban, I believe that letters of hope can make a big difference. That's how Martin Luther King got out of Birmingham jail. I believe the front door's locked and the back door's jammed. The window should be the next option. And sure enough, I said, I believe that our troops would love to hear from you. A lot of veterans are approaching me to get business advice. I believe you're the right person that can make this happen. I send that email off. 30 minutes later, I get a response. I was like, this is probably a scammer or something. I can't believe this. He asked a question. I was like, man, this is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? If I get this wrong, I may never get to talk to Cuban again. I said, should I lie answering this question or should I tell the truth? I answered it honestly. I didn't hear anything back. I follow up again, nothing. I follow up 2 days later, nothing. I was like, man, I'm probably bugging some scam artist in another country. It's probably not even Cuban. This is wasting both of our times. Finally, I kept following up. I probably sent about 13 emails. And then I said something along the lines of, Dear Mr. Cuban, I'd like to know if you're in or you're out. He responded 30 minutes later with 3 words, I'll be there. No contract, no nothing. I was like, this can't be real. I mean, and then my team's looking at me. What did he say? I'm like, he says he's going to be here. All right. I see him kind of like at the end of the hallway walking toward me. I go, this is too real. This is so surreal. Oh, man, he's taller than I thought he was. Here we go. And he approaches me. I said, thank you, Cuban, for answering my email. He's like, I'm here to do whatever you need me to do. Pulled up. I was like, me? Okay, yeah, I want to come kick it. There were 2 cars. They were full. He said, hop on in. I was like, there's no seats. Sit on his lap. All right, sit on his lap. All right, where we going? Where we going? And so we go to this park. It's nighttime. I'm like, all right, we're going to have some fun, right? And then they all get out of the car and form a circle around me. And I'm like, all right, let me get out of this circle. Why are they forming a circle? And they push me back. And say, if you want to kick it with us, Soriano, you better fight this guy right here. And I said, oh, man, I don't want to fight nobody. I came here to hang out. 6-foot-tall Mexican, shaved head, rolled up socks, white tee. And he said, you're going to fight me. I said, no, I'm not going to fight you. I'm going out of here. And they push me back in the circle. They say, no, if you want to kick it with us, you got to fight this guy. And then I was like, God, somebody please help me. I don't want to fight this guy. I ball up my fist. I look this guy in the eye. And right away, somebody kicks me in my feet, and they all jump me, pound me, kicking my head. Somebody says, break his nose, cover up my nose. Somebody says, break his back. We want to make sure he don't walk. Everybody kicking me down. And after 5 minutes, torn here, scarred here, bloodied, bruised, they stop. They stop, and they go, pull him up, throw him on the concrete slab. My team was saying, Chris, man, we could use a little help here. Maybe you should ask him for a donation or something. I said, nah, everybody probably asks Cuban for money. I ain't going to do that, although I really wanted to. And sure enough, he leaves. And then I was like, man, I should have really asked for something. We're hurting here. Our organization needs that help. And sure enough, he follows up with an email. Is there anything that I can do to help you with our veterans? Sure enough, he gives us a check for $100,000. All via email. Thank you. And then after that, I get that email again. How else can I help our veterans? Gives us another check for $240,000. All via email.